to the CHGO Sky podcast. My name is Janice Scurrio. You can follow me at Scurriosa, Scurriosa. And while you're at it, follow the CHGO podcast. That handle is CHGO_Sky for the finest in Chicago Sky coverage. And with me, as usual, is my wonderful co-host, Sabria Whitaker. Sabria, how are you today?
I am good. I am excited. I wish we had the Candace mood board right now, but you already know I'm super excited.
Oh my goodness, yeah, and this is a special show. I say that about every single one of our
Right.
shows, but this is the last show before the start of the season. So the Chicago Sky, your defending WNBA champions, and actually I heard Herb Lawrence say that they are the reigning champions, not the defending champions. I don't know, defense just sounds better to me. Also, too, you got to have some good defense. Good defense is always good. They are going to attempt to be the third team in WNBA history to win back-to-back titles. So anyway, be there on May 6th. That is 4 days away. Sky in 4.
Yes, and if you don't have your tickets, make sure you get your discounted tickets at www.growthegamew.com.
So be there. Your CHGO Sky friends will indeed.
Yes.
But anyway, let's go ahead and break down some recent news from across the W, and specifically news that affects the Sky. So, announced today, the Marquee Sports Network and the Chicago Sky have announced a broadcast partnership. So, at first glance, I had mixed feelings about this. I mean, more coverage is always good coverage. We've been asking for this. The big cons that I can think of off the top of my head is that you have to subscribe to yet another streaming service. What are your thoughts about this, Sabria?
I mean, I haven't read like the fine print of it, but I just hope it doesn't affect people with League Pass, because typically when it's local, you can't get it. So hopefully that doesn't cause any problems with blackouts, although I'm sure it will, but it's okay because most of us will actually be in the building anyway, so we don't need to watch it on TV.
That was my thought exactly. A friend of mine on Twitter did say that League Pass doesn't have blackouts, so that's also a thing there. So if you do not have League Pass, subscribe to it or attend games like we will be doing all season long.
Yes.
Right. What's up next? It has been confirmed that Chicago is going to host the 2022 WNBA All-Star Game.
Yay.
Hey, there's a new event this year called WNBA Live. It's going to be an interactive outdoor event, and WNBA Live will provide fans with an opportunity to experience the intersection of the WNBA, entertainment, and pop culture like never before. Now, this sounds like this could mean a handful of things.
Yeah, my first thought is, when will people learn you do not have things outside in Chicago? Like, I just don't understand, because it's probably going to be hot. Like, I know it's the windy city and we definitely have cold winters, but in the summer it gets so hot. And frankly, I don't really want to be outside. I don't. Like, that's why I tell everybody when I used to work for the Bears, I was like, after like working for the Bears, I said indoor sports only. And then that's when I went to the Hawks, and I was like, I will never do outside sports ever again. So I need them to keep us inside.
As someone who has spent many a season broiling in the Comiskey Park outfield, I definitely can relate. But anyway, the Sky have announced that season ticket holders will get priority access to purchase tickets for the game.
They actually have been down my timeline since this morning, posting the fact that they brought their tickets.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Yes,
awesome.
rubbing it in everybody's faces.
Rubbing it in everybody's faces. But it's really cool that the All-Star Game for sure is coming to Chicago. And a quote from Sky President Adam Fox: as we are continuing to grow the footprint of the Sky in the WNBA, there is no better way to do it than have the great stars of our WNBA galaxy. I love that term. Gathered in Chicago for AT&T WNBA All-Star 2022. It's great for the city, great for the league, and it further solidifies our place in the sports fabric here in the city of Chicago. So, Chicago this summertime shy, that's the place to be.
Yes. I mean, I'm excited. And hopefully, and that also kind of makes me wonder, who do you think they're going to get for the halftime performance?
Ooh, that is a really good question. I'm over here just thinking about how Allie Quigley said that she was going to retire from the three-point contest. But I also read that James Wade apparently is going to try to convince her to jump back in, just mainly because in front of the hometown crowd, you kind of have to.
I mean, hopefully she does. But also, I get it because it's like no one wants to go up against her because they know they're going to lose. So,
Good point. Good point. Who would you like to see play the halftime show at the All-Star game?
So I've actually been campaigning for Kehlani on Twitter, and so I hope. I also invited them to the game on Friday. So hopefully we'll see if their management responds. But I would love to see Kehlani. That's my pick.
Yes. Hopefully Kehlani's people get back to you, and they can definitely sit courtside for all I'm concerned. I would love to see them at a game.
Yeah. I absolutely have a courtside ticket for Kehlani. So.
Fantastic. Some other news. So if you haven't already, Annie Costabel's 48-page Sky section in the Sunday Sun Times. Absolutely incredible. And in case you just need to get immersed in Sky history, fantastic photos, stories. If you can't find it, you can actually order a copy through the Sun Times. But otherwise, a really fantastic way for the Sky to get more press. I just ordered my copy today, so definitely order your copy as well.
Oh, and also, I don't know if you have it, like the specifics written down, but the event that she's doing with Coach Wade.
That's right. Yes, I actually just signed up for it today. So Annie is hosting her Equal Pay podcast. Equal Play, sorry. That's going to be on Thursday at the Wiener Circle. Yeah, so grab a dog, sit down, talk some basketball, order a chocolate shake or not. But otherwise, that's going to be a very fun time. So definitely come out for that. Are you going, Sabria?
I did RSVP.
Awesome. So you will see the two of us there. So be sure to catch Annie, catch Coach Wade, and catch your two favorite Sky podcasters live in action. All right. So training camp is also wrapping up too. It's also Candace Parker's first day back with the Sky. So a really fun Instagram photo I found of Candace. I also just like Kalia's comment over here. Where is her ankle braces? I just wanted to make sure that got on the show too. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I think now that Candace is here, everything is kind of coming together. Everything is just falling into place. You can just smell the season just about to start.
Yes, I absolutely smell it. I can't believe, it's only 4 more sleeps, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, wait. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, 3. I don't know. I can't count. It's Monday. However many more days, it's Friday. That's all I know.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, even though we all love Fridays around here, this Friday is going to be an especially wonderful and anticipated Friday. All right, so before we get into some more training camp stuff, so I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Connor Moore and the social media work that he's been doing with the Sky. I saw this on their TikTok. It was very heartwarming, and the daily question of the day. It wasn't a question, but rather a reminder that you, yes, you, are appreciated. So yes, that means you, listener, as well as you too, Sabria. You two are also appreciated as well.
Thank you. Same.
Also, Azure Stevens wants you to know that you are appreciated. And she said, call up your friends, tell them you love them because it's really important. Anyway, I just thought it was very heartwarming. All the other players also just responded very well to that prompt as well. So shout out to Connor for making that happen. I think he's been doing a wonderful job.
Yes. And I said on Twitter that I'm going to be looking at social media pages a lot more closely. And I think I'm actually going to do some rankings. Like I'll probably write about that for this week. Like at the end of, I guess, preseason social media, I'm going to rank and see who's the best social media team. And then maybe down the line in the season, if he's not too busy, we can bring Connor on to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to have him on. So far, I've seen some really good content coming from the Fever, but like who do you think has the strongest social media game right now in the WNBA?
I was actually going to say the Fever until they got on my docket today. So I'm not really sure who would be after them. I don't know.
I have seen some interesting stuff from the Dallas Wings, but other than that, I think the Fever they have a very strong video game in particular.
Yes, and I did see Dallas. As Dallas does come across my timeline a lot. It's just that WNBA Twitter gives Dallas a hard time. So the other day they posted like a video of someone shooting, but it was like a cartoon type video. And the person, like, it moves up and shoots the ball. And I just saw a bunch of quote tweets saying that's a travel. And I'm just like, let them get their jokes and their tweets off, guys. Like, stop bullying Dallas.
Bailey Caldwell says Sun Media is one of my favorites. Yeah, they too also have some pretty good game going on too.
Yeah, I'm excited for Atlanta. I think, actually, Erica Wheeler, I don't know if she was supposed to post it because it got deleted like right after, but she posted content as if they're having media day today.
Oh, okay.
And actually that makes sense because the Sky have media day tomorrow, but it's like there was a car involved, like I'm not a car person, so I can't even tell you what type of car it was, but there was a nice sporty red car involved and a lot of red neon lights. And I did feel like they had the best video last season. So I'm interested to see what their intro video looks like this season and what the content looks like, especially because they're back in their arena. Last season, respectfully, they were in a farm. and I'm just very happy for them that they get to be back where they belong.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't have any cows or chickens or other assorted barnyard animals ruining your game. So speaking of barnyard animals, what I'm about to say has nothing to do with farms, but the best way to support CHGO, do you love that transition?
Yes.
Is to download the PointsBet app and use code CHGO when you sign up. And if you do that right now, you get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000, but that's not it. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, and that unlocks all of our web content, and you also get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. The Chicago Sky, or CHGO Sky, actually has a really dope shirt that I think you should get. Completely bias-free, by the way. That's $2,000 in free bets, a free CHGO membership, and a free t-shirt from the CHGO locker, all for making a more than $50 first-time deposit at PointsBet. So, and now online sign-up is available in Illinois. You can download the PointsBet app right meow and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. So, what are you waiting for besides for this podcast to finish? Once this game starts, don't just bet, live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. All right, so I was talking about farm animals right before I went into that tirade on SportsBet. But anyway, that brings us into what we were talking about earlier. Training camp is finally wrapping up. Mm-hmm. So the second post-game, or the second preseason game was on Saturday. The Sky fell to the Fever.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Oof, 79-75. It was pretty close though. Essentially, that fourth quarter was especially really tight. But we could talk about the Fever for a little bit.
I don't want to talk about them yet either. They're just gonna have to wait until it's time to call them in court of law. But I will say, it has been funny watching Twitter not watching the preseason games since we can't watch them, and so I've really enjoyed the jokes. Gotta love WNBA Twitter. But I'm also concerned and loving that these referees are handing out or throwing out technical fouls like they're towels. Like, oof. I think Coach Wade got a tech.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, and someone else got a tech during that game too. I can't remember who it is, but I think earlier today, Dallas played somebody, and I want to say Charlie, the last year's first round pick, got kicked out of the game because she got 2 techs.
Ooh, you know what? I think I saw a little, some whispers of that on Twitter. Yeah, that someone wanted to know what the drama was. And apparently Charlie got thrown out. Oh my goodness.
Yes. And I'm just concerned because I said on Twitter earlier, like, if this is how they're coming with text already, Diana Taurasi might as well just stay home, because I love that, like, her fan page, the DT3's Bun. Like, I've been following them since I was in high school, and every year she always asks people to guess how many texts that Diana Taurasi will have at the end of the season, and winner gets something. But I'm interested to see what numbers get thrown out if this is how they're coming, because Diana.
Yeah. Oof. All right. So tough scene for her. So we can talk about a little bit of how the Sky did. Emma Miesemann showed out again, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Also, too, some other top performers. Dana Evans, once again, 12 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal, especially because she's dealing with some residual injuries. The fact that she's doing quite well in preseason, I think that's a good sign. And also, too, Kayla Davis also coming up big, 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal. So you just recently spoke to Kayla last week.
Did.
Yeah. So how's she doing? What's up with Kayla?
Well, during that conversation, she was still overseas, and like she was coming the next day. And
That's right, yeah.
And then I talked to her briefly on Friday during media, and I asked her how she was feeling. She was great at the time. She said she wished Candace would stop calling her because that was like her first day in camp, kind of, and just excited to be there. So I guess Candace was just checking on her. So I'm interested to hear how that's going today now that they're both there. And her family is from the area. So I asked her if she saw her family yet. She said no, but she's more excited to see her dog. And I'm not supposed to tell anybody that, that. So hopefully they're not listening. But she went to Portillo's because everyone first stop
goes
is
to
Portillo's.
Yeah.
And so... and today she told me that she lost her voice.
What?
That somehow she lost her voice. And to me, my first thought, and I told her, I was like, well, that must mean that you're really showing leadership and communicating, because, that's what...
They love that.
Yeah. Granted, I need you to get it back, before the next game, but glad to see that you're getting familiar with the teammates and y'all are talking.
Yeah, that's always a good sign. Yeah, I do know that the coaching staff loves leadership. It's like just demonstrating all of those strong leadership skills. It's been said before about Emma Miesemann. I know that Courtney Vandersloot is just big on her leadership skills. Yes. Sloot actually said, adding Emma takes us to a whole other level, and I think you saw that today regarding that preseason game. But let's talk about some of the recent waived players. So one that I'm a little disappointed in that I also understand at the same time, doesn't necessarily mean I agree though. Imani McGee-Stafford was waived. Yeah, I was that. Kind of... I thought she would, she was going to make it.
We both picked her to be the one that was going to make it, so that was really sad.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that she will get a job down the line, though. So you have not seen the last of her. Also recently waived, Kamaya Smalls, Kayla Wells, Lexi Held, DePaul's own Lexi Held, and Lindsay Pulliam from Northwestern was also waived earlier today, too.
I know. It hurts my feelings whenever anybody, from around here who went to school here gets waived, because I'm always just imagining, everybody from that school or just their community coming out to see them. Yeah. And so that hurts my feelings.
Yeah. That one hurt a little bit, but Kathleen Doyle is still around though. So we have one more local gal remaining in camp, Candace, of course, because she's already right. Yeah, she's a shoo-in. But as of Monday morning, we got 19 players in camp, and that number needs to be 11 before Friday. So, yikes. More waves are imminent. So, I don't think that really needs to be discussed, because if you look at the box scores from the preseason game, you can pretty much see who had minutes and who didn't really put up anything. But other than that, like I said before, Dana Evans has been looking pretty great despite her injuries. I also heard that Lee Yaru could also be in Chicago by June. So that was reported by Annie.
Annie is on it.
Yeah, she is absolutely on it. Since reports last month said the Chinese Basketball Association had not permitted Lee to play in the WNBA this year, her agent, Mike Cound, said she received approval, has her passport, and is now waiting for a work visa. So, June is basically the target date. Nothing is confirmed yet, but it looks like she's well on her way to Chicago. So, exciting stuff there. So, 6'7", especially the Sky absolutely need something like that, as Stu Dufall is sitting out the season. Steph Dolson is now with the Liberty, so that's definitely going to make the front court a little bit stronger. But yeah, what else? Looks you mentioned Kayla. We mentioned Kayla before, but Kayla Davis is one of the more experienced players left on the training camp roster. And also, too, Sparkle Taylor has also looked really strong off the bench too. So she put up some points on Saturday. What are your thoughts on her?
Yeah. Again, I don't feel like I can accurately give thoughts on things that I cannot see.
Right, exactly. It's been pretty difficult. But other than that, what have been your some of your other observations? I know you've attended a handful of the media days. What have you seen? What have you heard?
I haven't seen anything and I haven't heard anything other than just like the great and like fun answers that they give. Good to see, like, for the most part, everybody has energy, and like we talked about with Connor's video earlier, they seem to be engaged. So I get good vibes, but that's like as far as I can go because we don't get to see anything.
Well, that's all about to change. So now that the season is finally upon us, not only do we get eyes on everything, but the entire fan base gets eyes on everything too. So that's super exciting.
Yes, and I'm super excited that we are going to a game on Friday.
Yes, we will. Like I said before at the beginning of this podcast, your friends at CHGO Sky will be in attendance at the game. I'm planning on live tweeting and just bringing as much excitement and fun to it as I possibly can. We will also be starting our written content coming up pretty soon, too. And so speaking of written content, in case you were wondering, the CHGO Sky podcast is brought to you by none other than CHGO. We have podcasts and live shows on every team every day. If it's a sport played in Chicago, you name it, we cover it. And CHGO also announced coverage for the Chicago Red Stars and the Chicago Fire too. So big welcome, a big welcome to those two teams. So post-game shows, premium written content from members at allchgo.com, dope merch for all teams, like literally all the teams, and a free shirt when you become a member. And you also get access to a members-only Discord called the CHGO Lounge. So come out and hang with us, become a member. It's going to be a good old time. Woo!
Yeah, so you said you're going to the game Friday.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
And I will be there. But, we've had our guests, and I wanted to try something a little different today. So we're going to bring on someone who's also going to be there.
Ooh.
But they're not a Sky player, never have been. But she is the 7th pick of the 2017 WNBA draft. And as of last year, on the all-first defensive team.
Whoa.
A Syracuse alumna. And the defending defensive player of the year. Overseas in Australia with the Women's National Basketball League.
Whoa, well, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. You must be talking about none other than Brittney Sykes.
Yes, absolutely. AKA Slim, how you doing?
What's going on, y'all?
Well, thank you for joining us. Wanted to bring you on the show today for a few reasons. Because one, I would love to hear your thoughts on playing your former teammate, because like we've been talking about this entire time,
revenge games.
This is the first time that you all are actually playing Candace because she was injured last year, and it's in Chicago. So how do you feel? Like, do you feel like it's going to be a lot of energy? Is it going to be spicy? Like, what do you feel?
I mean, I think it's always, going to be a talked about game because she used to be with the Sparks. She was there before she went to Chicago. So it's always going to be that thought of, oh, is it a revenge game? Is it a game where you show her like, all right, we're good. But in all reality, I would say nobody on our team is like not wanting to play her with the sky. We wanted to last year. It just happened to be that she was down. So it's one of those things where it's a testament to her as a player and what she brings to a team. To where you play a team and yeah, you beat them without their star, one of their star players. So of course that win will mean a whole lot more if you're playing, the person that everybody comes to see and play. So
Right.
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be cool. So I'm looking forward to it.
What are you looking for most? I mean, other than the game, like to come to Chicago, what are you looking forward to?
I mean, good food always. But if we're talking about the game itself, Chicago seems to, over the years, like have been really well with their crowds. And I don't mind playing in. What is it? Wintrust? That's the name of the
Yeah.
arena?
Wintrust, yep.
Yeah. So I don't mind playing in Wintrust. Call me lazy, but having the hotel right next door is always a plus. So
Brittney.
everybody knows.
A lot of people don't. So if you got a bunch of crazies waiting on you in the lobby this weekend, that is on you.
You're
That's
giving
not
people
on.
ideas.
Right. I'm
Actually,
not the one who was saying it. Nobody was
my
even thinking
bad. My bad. But no, I've actually seen I mean, yes, people do eventually know where people end up because I remember someone on Phoenix, I think Brianna talked about last year that, it's sometimes they get fans in the lobby and she's just like, I don't really, understand fans wanting autographs or approaching us in hotel lobbies or the airports. Um what do you think, Brittney? Like, how do you feel with, so many eyes on you, people know who you are and walking up to you in places where, you might not have as much privacy anymore?
I mean, it's one of those things where I don't even want to use the word bittersweet. More so, it comes with the territory. So you try to, well, I try to create boundaries where I'm never, me, like I'm never gonna say no to an autograph. I'm never gonna say no to a kid wanting a hug, like because we were all that kid at one point for something, or someone. So I
Mm-hmm.
just always try to keep that in mind. And if I don't get to him, I try my best to get back to him. But I just think it comes with the territory. Now, yes, people can be crazy and evasive, and there's been times where I've had to say like, listen, like I can't do it, type of thing, because of the situation and the safety, precautions of the whole situation. But yeah, it doesn't bother me. I thought it was very weird though when I did first come to the league. I was not expecting like dudes to be standing outside our hotels with the trophy cards. Like, hey, can you sign my card? I'm like, okay, bro, where'd you come from? Like, well, like, how'd you know that we're here? But I mean, they find their ways. It's just the league does a great job of making sure we're secure. Our teams individually make sure we're secure. They don't let us like walk by ourselves when we get to the bus and everything. We have people in place for those type of situations. So it's never like a random person just like running up. It's
Yeah,
usually the same people over the years.
So you mentioned food a little bit early. So we love talking about food here on this podcast.
absolutely.
So what is something you love to eat when you're in town?
Call me a typical, but I always do get the Harold chicken.
Good
I do.
answer.
Call me typical. I have family out in Chicago as well with former teammates. So usually when I say food, I'm saying home cooking. So yeah, I have to place my order about 72 hours ahead of time. That way they have time to prepare it when I go.
That's a good answer. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, my house is usually where I like to go for some excellent food. Well, if I don't have to make it anyway.
Yeah. And I think I looked at the schedule for you. You all have a lot of away games in the very beginning. So, I mean, I guess is this like the only stop that you can stop and get like a home cooked meal? Or like where are all of your like home stops for you in all the 12 markets where like, okay, I have somebody close to me, I can go get a home cooked meal if I want to.
Oh man, Chicago. I mean, Indiana could count, kind of. I mean, they can drive in. I'm trying to think. Atlanta, of course. Like Atlanta, I have spots to get home cooked meals. My mom usually comes to Connecticut if I really, really, really wanted something. I'm pretty sure she would bring it. DC, I can get a home cooked meal. Oh man. Where else?
Sounds like everywhere. Like I think that was like half the
It was
league.
more East Coast. It's more East Coast for sure, obviously. But I can get home cooked meals. Usually in Phoenix, I can get home cooked meals. Uh, Seattle, I can get a home cooked meal if I really really wanted to, or I could probably cook in their kitchen. So either way, yeah, I'm not too tripped out about the road eats because that's usually a big thing, trying to figure out what to eat on the road.
That's fair.
That is fair. As someone who has a hard time deciding what to eat all the time, that's definitely fair. Yeah, if I could pop in someone's kitchen and just eat their food, like that would be a good time.
Let's see what Splash Squad WNBA, the Australian Defensive Player of the Year, gets approached everywhere, but especially down under.
Oh yeah, do you have any stories to share about that? Getting approached in Australia.
Okay, yeah, I got one story. It was actually pretty funny. So I was in the elevator, right? And this lady gets on, and I'm going down. So I'm on the fourth floor. She's on the second. So as I'm coming down and she gets on the elevator, she walks past me because I'm standing in the front, and she walks past me to the back left, and something just told me like turn around. So I like turn to the side, and the lady's staring at me. So I don't have a mask on at this point. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on, with her. So as we're getting off the elevator, she like stops prematurely and goes, "You're the import that plays for Canberra, right?" And I'm like,
Import.
that's what they call like overseas players imports. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like,
All right.
I'm indifferent on it. I get it, but I'm like, okay, cool. And down there, nicknames are really big, so I guess they say Slim somewhere in media for them to know to call me Slim.
Oh yes,
And the
they
lady,
do. I've watched
yeah.
it. They do.
So the lady goes, "Yeah, you're the import. You're Slim," and I'm like, "Yeah, yes, I am." And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know this is kind of awkward. My son's played basketball." And literally, I'm in my head, I'm like, "Okay, what does it have to do with you staring at me, though?" You know. And apparently, they were having a tournament across the street at one of the high schools or something. So I guess they were staying at the hotel that I was at. But it was pretty cool. That was my first time being like kind of spotted, other than my Caps car. But that's another story.
Interesting. We're definitely going to have to get into that story at some point. So obviously Defensive Player of the Year. I checked the stats. So just a quick recap. Last year we played the Sparks back to back when Candace didn't play, and I don't want to talk about who won those games or anything, but I will say
was not the sky.
That Brittney was plus 21 in efficiency, and that sounds very efficient to me. Can you break that down for those of us who don't know what a plus or minus is?
Um, the best way I can explain it without being too technical is basically a player on the floor. If it's a plus, that means that's the kind of like positive direction they're head. Like they're more likely to help you win a game versus being in the negatives.
Now, see, you had 5 steals. Don't you? Do you have a record with steals?
In the league,
Yeah.
I think it was 7 with the L. So I
Yes.
don't know if
Okay.
I don't want to count it, but yeah, it was 7
Okay.
with the L.
Okay, that's fair. So, like, how do you feel? You went from all defense second team to all defense first team in 2020 and 2021 in the WNBA. Then you go all the way across the country and get a whole Defensive Player of the Year award and a guard. Like, I don't know, like, how tall are you? Because you're not that much taller than me, and I don't think I'm tall.
You're short, but
Okay.
I'm 5.
Okay, so 5'9". The other day I was reading stuff about the Sparks and the preseason game. Actually, do you know Cece Andrews from Athletes Unlimited? She was going live for us since we could not watch that game. But anyway, saw some pictures, and there was a video actually of you blocking Liz Cambage.
Oh my goodness. I didn't see that, but in theory, that sounds like that would be a feat.
Yeah, so how do you do it? Like,
Yeah,
do you
how
put
does
springs in your shoes? I know someone on Twitter talked about they want to see you dunk. And then, of course, you know me, I had to go get the video of you dunking 10 years ago. So how do
Yeah,
you do this? Like, are you normal?
I am normal.
Bailey Caldwell says, "I
Right?
know
I
you
just
can
put a
do
lot
it."
of emphasis on 10 years, man. That's all I'm saying.
Do you ever plan to? I'm like, I'm not going to pressure you because, again, I was very clear about my reaction if you dunked in a game. Do you ever, think about it and just don't do it? Like, what's your
Um,
relationship with that?
I'm being so serious. I can do it, right? But a wise man told me, and it has always stuck with me, that a dunk and a layup are both worth 2 points. So why not go get 2 points on a definite layup than maybe a dunk? Like I get it, the crowd, the excitement, the showtime. I'm not gonna say I won't ever. There's been times where I've gotten up really high for a rebound, and when I come down, I'm like, oh dang, that was my moment. Like to put it back. But again, at this point, especially in my age and career, not that I can't do it, but I'd rather go ahead and get the stat. I'd rather go ahead and get the stat, get the definite stat.
Okay, that's fair.
That's very fair. Yeah, maybe if dunks are 3 points in the near future. I'm not suggesting any rule changes, but maybe. I think layups and dunks look equally cool, though. I mean, dunks maybe just a little bit more, but
I mean, to me, like, again, it's just because, I mean, you'll see on Friday, but she's little compared to like a guard. Like that's, you typically think, go ahead, like last year, you came in second to Sylvia Fowles.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, like that's not anywhere close. So shout out to you for putting on for the guards and being such a defensive asset for your team. Is that something you all focused on in practice so far?
Yeah, we have been really, really anal on just making sure that we are together as a collective on defense. Most of the times, defense does lead to offense, great offense, easy offense. So that was the thing last year where we had the defensive end. We just didn't know how to translate it into offense. But we were hell bent on defense. Nobody was getting past us. Like we were maybe top three in all the categories of defensive trends. So we're trying to do that again this year. And LT, shout out to LT, she's our defensive coach. She reminds us every day whenever we're doing drills. This happened this time. This happened that time. There's a such and such percent when we do this, we get this right. So we know, it's not one of those things where it's like a Hail Mary or something. Like we really lock in and we really watch film and we really try to see what it is that we can do to be the best defensive team in the league.
individually, what has been something that you've been working on in the off season or just even in training camp so far?
I'm trying to steal the
What
ball from
off
you.
season?
Right. What off season, seriously? No, I actually got asked this question today, but for me, I think what I'm trying to add to my defensive game is kind of being a little more risky. So I feel like we have components on this team where I can do some of those things, and my team will be able to have my back if there's a mishaps or something. Because I mean, big risk, big reward. So I'm trying to get those steals that not many people are thinking about. I won't say them out loud because then they know I'm coming, but I'm trying to get those type of steals.
Interesting.
If anyone from the sky is watching this podcast, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sort of.
Right. I mean, I would love to see it. I like energy. Like I really like, the back and forth stuff. There was actually a little, I don't know, the tit tat on Twitter yesterday about, and it's so funny because I see it in the comments about someone wanting more crossovers. There was this alleged crossover that happened in the Vegas Lynx game.
Yeah, more ankle breakers.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
the person came and was like, that wasn't. I like rolled my ankle. It wasn't actually, them crossing me over. But Brittney, on the other hand, actually had a viral video last season. I won't say who she crossed, but you know what I'm talking about?
You talking about when we was in the A?
No,
No, I'm sorry, we wasn't there. We was in LA. We was home.
I don't know
It was
actually.
actually great. You talking about that
No,
game?
no. But there's a someone who is like one of the faces of the W, and so that's kind of why it made its rounds and went a little viral. So I'm sure we will see more of that this season, right?
Yeah, but now I want to know who I crossed. I don't remember who I crossed.
I'll tell you later.
All right, cool.
I mean, what has so far in like your career, what has been your wow, I can't believe I did that in that time moment?
Uh, Probably scored 22 and a quarter. That was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy.
Well, what
And
did
then
you
they,
do that day?
huh?
You do that day before you showed up to play?
Everything I do every other game.
Which is what? Like
Everything
like walk us through your game day routine.
for an away game.
Doesn't matter.
Because
Whatever. Yeah.
it's an away game, so it like levels. Like if it's a home game or it's a away game, it's kind of a little bit different because we got less time on the road.
Okay, so
So,
so what I mean, tell
all
us.
right, so on that particular day, right, the 22 in the corner, probably was a regular day. We were in Phoenix, right? We wake up. Uh, we're already on. No, I'm on East Coast time because I was with Atlanta. So most likely I was up early. I always go to the Breakfast Club right in that area, right by the arena. Always get the same thing: eggs, bacon, hash brown, French toast. All that good stuff, right? But
So
that's
specific.
usually what.
I said that was so specific. Thank you.
So what you're
Very.
saying is that breakfast food is the key to dropping 20 plus points in one quarter. What was what you're saying?
I mean, more so the routine. The routine is more important. Like food is always important, but I'm a routine type of person. So if I could just kind of keep the same regiment, it kind of signals my brain to tell me like, okay, hey, this is a game day. This is a game day routine. So do that, and then I just go to shoot around, come back. I usually end up ordering some food before I get back to go take my nap. I always need a pregame nap, whether it's 40 minutes to an hour and 30. I need a pregame nap. But I do that, wake up, get to the gym. It's across the street, so I probably walk over there 2 hours before, get my treatment, and then go handle my business.
Bailey said, "What is on the pregame playlist? I know Britt is a music junkie." And then Caitlin said she's on her own playlist. She plays 15 instruments.
What's on my pregame playlist right now? I don't know. It's kind of weird because I don't know. I don't really when I'm in the States, I don't really listen to music as much as I do when I'm overseas. Obviously, in the States, when I got teammates, they got speakers, we got playlists, so you kind of listen to whatever. It's kind of white noise for me in a sense where I just hear the music and I do enjoy it. And usually NECA is on top of the playlist, or Coop or Arella might have it before NECA and them come in. And I just vibe out to that music. But if I pick songs, usually if I'm in the house getting ready or something or in my room, I probably listen to some like neo soul, R&B, light kind of, not too hardcore rap, kind of like the mainstream, but not too mainstream. I keep it mixed up. I don't really like listening to too much hype music, so I don't know why you're making that face.
Um, maybe it's different. I'm making that face because the last time I saw you in LA, you were listening to Snoop Dogg, and I was like, wow, she's like been in LA way too long.
I mean, I listen to everything though. So that's what I'm trying to say. I listen to everything. But usually I might put it on shuffle, and you just happen to be in the car with me, and I had on Snoop Dogg. Like that's why wouldn't I have on playing while I'm driving?
West Coast hip hop, of course, I think is a given, especially if you're in LA.
Okay, so being in LA, like, who do you see? Like, when you've been out, or just like who's I guess the biggest celebrity you've seen since you've been in LA?
Probably Magic, and that was at practice.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
is it intimidating to know that he has courtside seats and like that's a big
No,
deal?
no,
Okay.
for no, like for what though? I don't think I've ever been kind of like, how do you say it? Shy, or not shy, but kind of starstruck in a sense. So I just look at it as an opportunity to like prove, like I'm thankful for one because like
Mm-hmm.
he's a part of the whole organization. He owns, owns it with other people. So that's one of the things where it's kind of like your boss kind of walks in and is like looking over your shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's no time to be starstruck. It's like, hey, look, you paying me this amount of money for the right reason. So I'm gonna get back to work. But it's lovely seeing you, Mr. Magic. Hey, gotta go. But no, he was cool. It was pretty dope to meet him. Got to talk to him. First thing he said to me, I was really athletic. So hey,
It's a good
there is
endorsement.
that.
Yeah.
Kaylin said, "What about when I sat courtside?" And I'm glad she said that, Brittney. Let's talk about it. What about when she sat courtside? Can you please give us more information on that?
As to how it went about,
I'm just
I mean,
bringing up that she mentioned courtside, so I'm just
yeah.
trying to figure out how
Oh,
that happened. I know you're
so
humble, but
okay, so I Kaylin had posted some videos, tagged us in it on Instagram, and that's kind of how we started to kind of talk with each other. It's so weird calling her Kaylin, by the way. I'm just like, no, it's so weird. But how we came about kind of talking, I would just write her and tell her how funny she was because she would make me die laughing at the video she posts. And there was one particular moment in a video she was talking about, and she has said that she should be courtside. I think we were playing Atlanta, and there was like this dude in a white t-shirt running back and forth, going crazy. And she was like, I should be that dude. I should be courtside. So I hit up Sabria, and I'm like, hey, we need to get her courtside. Like, she is a big fan. I think that even if it's not courtside, I'm a huge advocate for having people come to like a game. But even if it's not in my city or my particular team, I do whatever I can do to like get that person to a game because the more people that watch it, the more they love it. I've yet to meet somebody who go to a game and like, oh, that thing was trash. Usually the games we go to, they're really good. So she ended up coming. Shout out to you, Sabria. She did everything in her power to make sure that she was taken care of. She got to come courtside. We got to chop it up after I worked out. Security was trying to play tough, but we got past all of that. But yeah, after the game, we got to talk some more. I got a hoodie that I'm waiting to wear. You know what I mean? Tunnel fit's going crazy. So
I'm
yeah.
glad you brought that up because, well, before you brought that up, I was going to say, again, like, I really appreciate how humble you are. But just for those who don't know, Brittney also went viral a couple years ago in Atlanta because there was a young fan who really loved Brittney, and she gave her shoes and walked up there and gave her a hug. And there's another picture of last year when she was there, and it was the cutest little girl wearing her jersey, and it was like eating her up. And then Brittney got down there signing. So she definitely is one of those players who tries to grow the game. With stuff like that, like giving people tickets, asking them to come out, signing autographs, giving people shoes,
Doing it for the children.
yeah. So shout out to you, Brittney. Bailey said Brit is for the people. But you brought up tunnel fits, and I wish that I went and got like some tunnel fits so that people could see who are watching us, like the type
Yeah.
of stuff. But like, what is your favorite fit, or like what type of fits are you gonna pull off this season?
I'm actually glad that you asked me that, right? Because I have been getting dressed way more. Like before, yeah, people be like, "Oh, you don't go to work," but it's like this is our job. This is how we make money. This is how we provide for ourselves, our family. So I'm getting in the habit of dressing more. So when I do get to the tunnel fits, it won't feel as forced because I couldn't wrap my mind around 3 seconds of a picture just to go sweat. So there's that. So I really wasn't big on tunnel fits, but this year I have my little brother. His Instagram, I believe, is styled by Coz, COZ, and he's going to be one of my like main stylists this year. So more times than not, if you see an outfit that I have on, he most likely put it together or found some pieces for me, and I believe in him, and he wants to be a stylist. So that's kind of like our deal. We got a contract made up and everything, to where he gets a certain budget, and he goes and he finds pieces. I tell him the type of style I'm looking for, and he works on styles that'll look good for me. So he's kind of pushing me out my comfort zone. I'm pushing him out of his. So we're just trying to grow together. Which ironically we grow in the game. So there you go.
That sounds like a wonderful partnership. Now, I'm not asking you to pick favorites or, be divisive here, but which of your teammates do you think has the best tunnel fit game?
I mean, it's kind of like we got this question in media day too, like who, and majority pick Liz, and I'm still going to pick Liz for the simple fact of, it's not even what she wears; it's like how she wears it too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And she has a big personality, and the swag matches. So I'm not trying to sound like a super fan here, but I will give it to Liz for sure.
Yeah, that was one of the first things that I saw people started talking about, with the changes and the additions to the Sparks this season. Like LA about to have all the tunnel fits.
Yeah, especially with Lexi around. Yeah, she had some pretty great tunnel fits last year.
Yeah, so I decided today that I'm probably going to do like Fit Fridays.
Yes.
It's like my weekly column to figure out who was really stepping. Caitlin said not dressing but stepping. They said first team all drip. I'm weak. So we're going to see if you're first team all drip at the end of the season. No, I'm not going to give you any favoritism. So you better come with all the heat to see if you make it on there.
I've always said it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. So when we talk about drip, people can put on 5 different colors and it could be drip because of how they're rocking it. It's all about the confidence, right? So I feel like it really shouldn't matter like first team, second team, third team. It's just like who drippy. You know what I mean? It's like, who's like, yeah, all right. There's some people who like, they really got it. Boom, first team. I'd even put myself in like a second to third team category only because I put it on and I do my thing. I get up, I get in, I get out. But I don't look like no bum. But I don't know if I have the energy that first team puts into, how they go about their outfits. And that's not a bad thing. I'm just not doing it, I'm just not going through it.
That's fair. And I got one more question because, like I said, I know you got somewhere to be. We have 5 minutes left, and I definitely have to go on my rant about Indiana because they deserve it. So, lastly, someone said, "Can we get the frenemies list, like on or off the court?"
The frenemies list.
Yeah. Like I remember. I still don't even really know. I think you and Crystal were playing like that time that y'all had everybody in the uproar on Instagram.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's all fair and love and war.
So you don't have any frenemies right now? Like, okay, who is somebody that you're actually very close to or y'all are like real life friends, but then when you step on the court, y'all are instantly like, no, you're the ops?
Courtney Williams. But I mean, we do that to each other, and I mean, that's just her competitive spirit. That's the first person that popped in my head because we really are cool, and there's no beef. Even I want to say the bubble game, we was going at it and I had said something. I walked off the sideline because I think it was in foul trouble. And she had said something and I looked at Tay and I'm like, go guard her. She don't get nothing. And that just set her off. She's like, hey, 15, don't talk to me like that. Like, you would have thought we were never friends in that one situation. And then I get back on the court, we talking some more. And that game wasn't no blowout. Like, we were going at it until a certain time. And then literally, as the clock's winding down, you just see me and Court run up to each other and just dap each other up and smile, hug, as if we just didn't, like, brawl it out on the court. So I like that. I like that in a competitor. At least I know that you're going your hardest because it's like we making each other better, even though we're not on the same team.
And so it sounds like after everybody puts all the Sky games on their schedule, obviously, people need to look out for Sparks versus Connecticut to see how this plays out this season.
Yeah, that's going to be a game that I tune into for sure. I have a personal vested interest in this now, Brittney.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. And thanks for coming. Safe travels. I mean, we will literally see you in 4 days.
We're gonna see you in a few days. So happy safe travels to Chicago. Looking forward to seeing you. Go Sky, unfortunately, but
What'd you say?
How's the weather? Because I got to pack soon. So
Cold and rainy.
Yeah, it's crap. Yeah, it is the Midwest. Yeah, I'm not a fan. This is like I think the 4th overcast day, and I think my brain is gonna explode if it's overcast another day. But maybe by the time you get here, the LA sunshine will follow you.
Tell the Sparks, everybody in the Sparks, bring the sunshine to Chicago, please, and thank you. Put a spark in the sky. You see what I did there?
Ah, yeah, that was good.
Thank you. All right, Brittney. Well, I mean, I'm going to say good luck. I see Caitlin is trying to force me to pick a side on who I want to win the game on Friday, and I'm not going to answer that question. See you later, Brittney.
All right, guys.
All right, thanks.
Take care, Brittney.
Thank you.
All right, so I saved 3 minutes for my rant. So,
all right.
Court of Law.
Court of Law. This is a segment where Judge Sabria is going to rule on certain cases on the docket. Today, the Indiana Fever is grinding your gears.
Yes.
So tell me, what did the Indiana Fever do besides win that postseason game on Saturday?
See, okay. So it looks like a little like I'm biased, but I can totally look at this case objectively and make a fair decision. So for those of us who are watching with us and watching us on YouTube or Twitter, there's a welcome to the team banner that is still to this day right now. If you all go look at the Indiana Fever store right now, it says welcome to the team, Nalissa, Emily, Lexi, Queen, and Destiny. The problem is they're missing an entire draft pick that they just are not welcoming. Apparently she's not welcome to the team. And I'm next to it was the jersey list. And some people, I've speculated that maybe it's because her name is too long, but the only draft pick that doesn't have a jersey. And then there's a picture of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the draft picks, the ones who were welcome apparently, and she is not there. And I'm not really sure who was in charge of that picture, but I'm pretty sure everyone should have known that they should have had Amisha Williams-Holiday in that picture, and she is not.
It looks like that graphic has been taken down from the store.
Good, because I went on because I put it on Twitter yesterday. So look, thank you, Indiana. We're getting somewhere. The fourth thing I didn't talk about, she was the only one that didn't play in the other game. I'm hearing that's changed and she's now, been on the court, but she was the only draft pick not to play in that first game, and it said coach's decision, do not play. So hopefully, this wasn't all for publicity or good faith, because she, is the player that was drafted from Jackson State and made history. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we can get her a fair shot, and I don't have to, give Indiana the smoke when I go to the game next week.
Yes, so Indiana don't want that smoke, so
yeah, but
good on them for taking the graphic down.
Yeah, good on them for taking the graphic down. So I'll go a little lenient on the sentence for good behavior. But my ruling is that Indiana is in fact, like Caitlin, aka Splash Squad WNBA, is saying, that Indiana is fraudulent, and that is my ruling.
Okay. Judge Whitaker has spoken. And with that, that's pretty much our show. So, oh my goodness, the next time we see you, it's going to be literally the season. So I am super excited. I'm sure all of you are excited as well. Again, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back at it this Friday, actually. Well, we'll both be at Wintrust Arena.
Yes.
And hopefully,
if you see us,
yeah, say hi.
Say hi.
Please say hi.
Wear your CHGO Sky shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And if I see a CHGO Sky shirt, I will come up to you and talk to you, and I will be annoying. That is a guarantee. But yeah, please do. Please say hello. We want to talk to you. We want to meet you. And come hang. It's going to be a good time.
Yes, and then come back and see what we have to say about it next week. And Sky and 4.
Sky and 4. Take care, guys.